as we were planning, we had the editors of the New York Times and the Washington Post. We had Hugh Hewitt. We had the Solicitor General of the United States, Nadine Strawson. We had videos from Justice Ruth Bader Ginsburg and Governor Kasich. It was a dream group of people. And along the way, a fellow named James O'Keefe approached us about participating. Those of you who don't know, James O'Keefe is in charge of Project Veritas, which prides itself in guerrilla journalism.
I'm here because I recognize the power that's inherent in mainstream media. And a lot of people in the media don't think there's anything wrong with the media, but the media is not very popular amongst the American people. So what we did, and what journalists have a problem with, Andy, is we went undercover into the media itself. I mean, who's going to guard the guardsmen? Brian Stelter seems like a nice guy, but I don't think so. Someone has to hold them accountable.
A lot of pushback when we decided, along with the Pittsburgh Foundation, to invite him. And the editor of the Duquesne Duke, our student newspaper, wrote a blistering editorial saying this was a mistake. We never should have included him in that conference. I called the editor in and we sat down and chatted about it. I had been a journalist a lot of my life and on the student newspaper. And I told him, I did a book on the whole Clinton star battles, and I said, you know, at the time when the Monica Lewinsky story came out in 1998, you know who broke that story? A guy named Matt Drudge, using a thing called the internet. And people said, this isn't journalism. What's this internet thing, you know? And I said, so it's always changing, it's always evolving, and people have forever been posing as different people in trying to write stories. I remember a very important book, some of you probably read it, called Black Like Me. In 1961, during the civil rights upheavals, where a white guy actually changed his pigmentation to go down south to write about what it was like to be treated. Well, that was a fake to get the story. So I said to this young fellow, you know, think about these things.